Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Footstool 749 podcast. Today we have some very special guest, New Gen Social Media Marketing Agency. Correct, guys?
Yes, sir.
All right, and I'm going to pass the mic on down to my buddy Jabron right here. You guys, just introduce yourselves. Let us know who you are and what you do.
All right, hello, my name is Jabron, one of the founders of New Gen.
My name is Freddie Rees, and I help with editing, coming up with posts.
Yeah, my name's David. I do a lot of the accounting and some of the legal work for New Gen.
Nice, man. So you guys got a whole team set up here, man. I love that. I love the fact that you guys are a group of friends that's decided to do something about what's going on with small businesses here, you know? Yep. So I don't know who's the better one to tell us how everything got started and how you guys decided to actually start New Gen, you know?
Jabron, I'll let you take this one, Jabron.
I'll start off from it. Well, I first got the idea from just seeing businesses, which actually mostly Mexican restaurants that are really bad at this, but I would try to find information, like just to call to make an order or anything like that. And then what happened is I would go to their Facebook. They either didn't have the number on there, they didn't have a menu, they didn't have anything. And I was just like, okay, someone needs to come fix this.
Yeah, somebody needs to do something about it.
Right. And so that led to the bigger idea as, okay, if restaurants are doing this, what other businesses are having this issue? Because it's easy to be like, okay, I want something to eat, get on Facebook, where it's something else like, okay, I need tires, I need something else.
Yeah.
Do they have a social media presence where you can look at their product, look at their services, look at their reviews, and make a decision? Because we're moving away from the age where there was just your local grocery store, your local garage that you could go to now there's so many options. You can get something from California shipped to you from Amazon or for whatever service provider, and have the ability to go to their social media and look at the stuff that they're offering.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I understand what you guys are saying, man. Especially with the small businesses, it's more common that you see what Jabron and David just explained, you know, of you want something, you see it, maybe, and this is, from my point of view, this is how it goes. It's like, for example, a restaurant. It's like they might post just a picture of whatever it is that they're selling, like, for example, a plate that they have, and it looks good, and then you go on their page, social media account, whatever it is, and you try to look for a phone number or somewhere to contact, and it's so confusing. Like, their information isn't accurate, and it's not clear how to get in contact with them, you know? And that's where you guys come into play, right? You guys come in, and so let's say I'm a business, and I hire you guys. What's the process?
So the first step is, if we know that you're interested, right? We have already gone through your entire social media. Before our first initiation, for our first conversation, we find out, hey, you want to talk to us? Okay, Jabron, Freddie, can you look at their social media, make a list of everything that they're doing right and a list of what they're doing wrong. Then we'll present it and say, okay, you can change your Facebook. I see you haven't posted in 2 weeks. And then every time you post, there's weeks in between. So we need to fix that consistency problem. Maybe the quality of the post isn't that good. Maybe you're trying to take a picture of food, but the lighting's bad, the dishes, it just doesn't look appeasing to you, to where, like, if you're looking for a specific dish, let's say you're looking to get lasagna or something, and it's dark, it looks cold, the background is horrible. It's like, I'm going to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know? So that's the first initial steps that we take, is really just starting the conversation to, here's what we see that's wrong, let's move towards the right direction.
Yeah. So what's one of the biggest issues you guys would say you guys are encounter first, you know?
Inconsistency is probably one of the most common ones that we see, and just the lag time between, like, somebody asking a question or commenting and the person just not getting back to it. We're just using it as almost like a personal profiles. The most common ones that we've seen is that.
And then just a lot of businesses don't seem to get it. They think social media isn't important. They don't want to do it. They feel like it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Especially with older business owners, they think still like everything gets from word of mouth, but that doesn't really happen anymore. I mean, people our age don't really go out, so
Yeah, and
especially the younger kids.
I completely agree with what you're saying, Jabron. I mean, from what I do, you know, I do videography and photography and stuff. It's I have seen that trend where it's just they don't believe in the power of social media. They still there's a shift in things now. Definitely from before social media, the beginning of social media, and now the current age and the evolution of social media, you know, in my point of view. And I believe that most small businesses still don't see the benefit of producing, like Freddie said, being consistent of actually posting every day, you know, and actually letting people know out there, because now Facebook and most of these social media platforms don't give you that free organic reach anymore unless you're consistently providing what they're asking for, which is content, which is, you know, information and stuff like that.
Right.
But I completely agree with what you just said, Jabron. They don't believe in it, man, and they just don't see the value in it yet.
Right.
So going forward, how do you think we can, you know, show those small businesses the value of social media and stuff like that?
I think trying to show that, like, getting the presence on social media, getting the engagement turns into sales. So having the ability to show business owners that understand that, okay, just because you have a social media, it's not a personal social media website. This is your business. It's here to promote your business. And most importantly, it's here to convert those customers into transactional relationships. So that's really the starting point and the conversation that needs to be had.
Yeah, for sure. You know, man, I was listening to Gary, or not listening, but watching Gary Vaynerchuk account, and he's always posting, man, and he says that you should be posting between 8 to 15 pieces of content a day.
Yeah, it depends on what your strategy is. So if you're there for, let's say his business is, he's his own personal brand.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. Or as you're, we can keep it on the restaurant. If you're the restaurant, the business owner, that's not his brand. It's the food that he's trying to sell.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. You may not need 8 to 15 pieces of content a day, right? But simply posting your specials for that day, having images of that special, right? Having pictures of people enjoying your special, stuff like that to kind of show, like, we're business owners and we care about the services and products that we're putting out to the community.
So, Freddie, you said you're the editor, right?
Yes, I do the editing, and I manage like some of the more creative posts.
So, like the graphic designs and stuff like that,
Yeah.
kind of like digital little artwork and stuff, you would say?
Yeah, I do it, and also with the input of these two. Obviously, it's not just a solo thing. That way, we have 3 pairs of eyes looking at it, and it's not just my opinion based on it, and send it out. I get them to look at it, get their input.
Yeah, well, from your point of view as the editor, man, like, do you have like people that, like, okay, so do you guys go take the photos and the videos for them, or do you just have them send them to you, like, whatever they have?
We get them to send sometimes, but mostly we go and take it, just because sometimes they'll get a shot of, let's say, a dish, and the background is not.
It's just like the water on the floor or something like that. You know?
Exactly. It's like, oh, we can't really use that to try to push this.
And also, we usually have a vision, so we kind of want to go in there and just do it ourselves, because we kind of know what we want and we want to post and like a strategy around it. So it's just better if we go get it ourselves than to actually have them send it to us.
And you know, and I agree with that, man, because from the work that I do, you know, it's like people see other videos online and stuff, and they think it's so easy to recreate that kind of stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that stuff takes time. Well, first of all, it takes planning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It takes planning. It takes time to actually film and to first of all set up, then film, then go edit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not a quick turnaround when it's fancy stuff that you want to do. You know, and so, and I feel like that's a big thing that people have to understand. You know, it's cool. We can try to recreate the video, but you have to set aside the time to actually do all that stuff, you know. And most business owners don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Don't understand. And where I'm getting with this question is they don't understand to put aside time for planning for a budget, which is another big thing. Most businesses, in my point of view, don't have a budget for that kind of stuff, marketing or whatever it is, you know. And I don't know, what do you guys think about that?
As far as budgeting, we're not that expensive for what we do. We know the service we provide, so like we're not charging a premium that's top notch. I think it's probably pretty average in the industry. So one of the things that we do that you brought up is that it's a process to get. So that's what we struggled with early on, because we would go in to record without a game plan. So we'll end up leaving there with so much content that it was so difficult to pick and choose what we wanted. So now we have a process in place where if we're shooting a video, we have a script. This is what the intro is going to look like. This is who's recording it. This is what the action shots are going to look like. This is who's recording it. This is the outro. This is who's recording. Get all that. We're done in 30 minutes. We can get a whole video, you know, processed and sent out within 7 days. That way they can, well, we'll be posting it, but we can post it. We can cut it up. And same thing with just individual shots. It's like, okay, we're going to go in here. We know exactly what we want. We know what the background should be. We know what it should look like exactly. go in, and then we're right back out.
How does that help you as editor, Eddie? Like, or Freddie? I'm sorry, I don't know why I called you Eddie. My bad.
No,
Freddie,
yeah.
how does that help you, man? Like, I know it, bro. Like, I know you saw the difference from when you guys went without a plan to now you guys have a plan, and it's like it's easier to edit those shots, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Just because it's now you have like sort of like a baseline story you can start going off of. Like the quality also too.
Yeah.
It's pretty consistent. I mean, we've also messed up, and the quality of the video or of a part of the video would change.
Mm-hmm.
But we've gotten better at that, like keeping it consistent, like in cinematic mode or whatever we're filming in.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot easier.
I like
going
to
in
think
with
of
a
it as
plan.
like when we first started, we had like this huge puzzle, and we didn't know what the image of the puzzle was supposed to look like. So we're trying to put this together, and we have no idea how it's supposed to look. To now, it's still a little bit of a puzzle, but we know what the corner pieces are, and we know what it's supposed to look like.
You're looking at the front image on the box.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yeah, see, back then we just had puzzle pieces with no box.
Exactly.
No, man, that is super important what you just
Yeah.
said there, man. Like, that is the key. The planning, the actual having the final vision. Well, not the exact final vision, but at least you have an image that you're going towards, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people start a business that way too. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, I just want to start a business because it's something that intrigues me, but I don't even have a plan behind it, you know? And man, I identify with that so much because when I started videography, man, that's exactly how I started too. It was like, I just want to go shoot. I just want to go shoot, you know? And it's like, I would go and then I would waste so much time trying to figure out what it was that I actually wanted to film, to what was my vision, you know? And as creators, because that's what we are, we're creators, you know, as creators, small business owners don't have the creativity and the time to sit there and actually think about everything, you know? And like you guys said, I don't know which one of you said earlier, it's three of you guys, it's better, you have more eyes on it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But man, and it's like this lady that I'm working with right now, dude, it's I told her the number one thing is get your people involved. You have a team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you're just a solo person doing the business, that's different.
It's hard, yeah.
But if you have a team, get them involved. You know?
Yeah.
I told her, I'm like, have your team write down ideas, you know, and incentivize them to write those ideas down. What can you do? It's maybe a $5 or $10 gift card to Dunkin' Donuts or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And have a weekly meeting, man. Like, people don't have meetings to talk about this, especially small business owners. Go ahead. I've been rambling on too much.
No, you're fine. You're fine. And I think you bring up a good point. Like, we have like standard operating procedures. So, like, if Freddie creates a post, then we'll let him do his thing, and then it gets sent to Jabron, and Jabron will review it, make sure there's no typos, because it's hard to do it from a creator standpoint to make sure there's no typos.
Yeah.
Everything's aligned, everything's centered. Like, do your creativity part. We'll double check and make sure everything looks good.
Yeah.
And then we also have like, I guess like culture policies is like everyone has a word into what we're doing. As long as we have a 2/3 vote, then we can move forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what the situation is. We don't all have to agree, but as long as the majority of us agree, it's like, okay, that's the way then.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which the majority, whatever combination it is. So, and I can understand for business owners, if you're just one person, you're making all the decisions, you're calling all the shots. Not all the shots you're going to call are going to be right.
Yeah.
Not all the decisions you're going to make are going to be right. So having the input of like Freddie and Jabron, it helps me a little bit. It's like I may think, okay, I think A is the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
And Jabron be like, nah, think about C. And Freddie's like, well, think about B. And then it's like, you know what, you guys are right. A is not the way. Let's try these other two routes.
Yeah.
So having that is like, it makes running a business so much easier because like all the pressure isn't on you to have to create, to have to manage, to have to come up with new directions, new policies, and all these other things that come along with being business owners.
Also, with there being three of us, jumping back to his point about like getting together, having meetings, and just being like, just putting our heads together and being like creative. Like we do that all the time.
Yeah.
We sit there and we'll just talk. We'll throw out ideas. We'll see what sticks.
Mm-hmm.
What would
That's
you
fun.
What would you guys say is the most common reason people don't decide to do social media?
Time.
Yeah.
I think time is the biggest one. And I think that's truly the problem that we solve. Yeah, we create content and yeah, we can do engagement for you, but really we solve the time issue to where it's like, okay, you may want to be able to do it, but you don't have the time, nor you may not have the people that you trust to do it. So just hire someone, an outside party, to come in and take care of it for you, right? So a business owner, you hire a CPA to do your taxes, you hire a lawyer to do your LLCs, to start all that. Why not hire someone to take care of your social media, which is equally as important? Because if you do have a social media, and let's say you do something poorly, and you just get all these bad reviews, your restaurant is going to come to a halt, because people are going to look at those reviews and be like, oh, I'm not going to eat there. Oh, I'm not going to shop there. Like, that's what we do. We're here to protect you from that. You know, same thing as a lawyer or a CPA or any of those other industries.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that I really have noticed, guys, is business owners think, okay, I don't know how you guys see this. It's like, from me, it's like content that is shoving a sales pitch down your throat is no longer working or being too effective. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
what is your opinion on that, guys?
I think that's the reason commercials have kind of killed TV, because nobody wants to see those commercials anymore.
Yeah.
It's boring, and then all kids listen to YouTube now. That's all they watch. YouTube is the new TV.
Yeah.
And if you see, all the sponsors are going to the huge creators who don't make commercials. They like take that product and make a video with it and make a story with it, and that's what sells.
Yeah.
And commercials aren't relatable. No matter
Yeah.
how hard they try, as long as they pick up on that sales pitch, you're done. Tuned out, I'm out of it. If you can make it relatable,
Yeah.
then it's a different conversation that you're having. It's like, you're not trying to sell me something. It's like, oh, you have the same problems I'm having? Oh, that helped you with those problems? All right, let's check it out.
Yeah, it's content that identifies with the viewer. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That is relatable to the viewer and stuff like that. And yeah, you know, a lot of people say you have a niche or a niche or whatever you want to call it. You know, but it's like you have to make content that's relatable to a mass majority of people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like these people might identify with it right now, but in the long run, they're going to end up being in that same spot. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say.
No,
but,
yeah.
No, I
you're
get you what you're
exactly
saying.
right.
But man, I have noticed it's like, man, I don't want to say names, and I don't want anybody.
Yeah,
I
no
don't-
names, no
I
names.
don't want anybody to take it the wrong way or anything. But I do want to say some things that are controversial because I do believe that's the way for people to start evaluating what they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you have somebody saying, "Oh no, that's good all the time," then you're never gonna grow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I want to piggyback, because I don't think it's being controversial. I think it's like everyone has an opinion, but I feel very few are willing to stand out on that opinion.
Yeah.
They'll just stand back. Even though they may hold that opinion, they'll let the general view, take the forefront. Whereas, like, if you stand on your opinion, even though it may be controversial, it's like you're going to get your views, because there's so many more people who feel the same way as you
Exactly.
who just aren't going to say anything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You'd be surprised how many people hold your opinion, and if you just said it and you like stood by, but you gotta mean it too.
Yeah.
You can't be disingenuous about it. If, like, you really mean your, like, if you stand behind whatever you value, whatever it is, your opinion is. There's so many people that think the same thing.
Right. Don't be like the Liver King. Don't be like him.
Oh,
Don't
God.
be like him. Don't
Oh
be
my
like him.
goodness, dude!
Yeah.
I just saw his. I started watching his interview with Patrick Bet David. Man, he's got a video podcast.
Yeah.
I love
And-
Patrick. Yeah, no,
And I was like, oh my goodness, bro, this dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, the dude
Yeah.
is jacked, bro, but like, he was on steroids and all this other
Yeah.
stuff, wasn't he?
Yeah.
well, he was trying to
HGH.
promote a lifestyle that like he wasn't really living it. He was like, I wasn't on steroids. This is the way to do it. Then when it all came out, he was like, I'm sorry, I lied. I'm like,
crazy.
no,
I
you
haven't-
just got caught, man.
Yeah, I haven't really watched the whole thing. I started watching it, man, and I'm like, I need to keep up with it because I know people have been talking about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But oh man, I forgot that you brought up a really good point earlier, man, and I wanted to say something about it, but now
right.
talking about the Liver King, I got
Well, it's funny because it's like it's almost biblical, like just to see that play out, which just happens tons of times. You can bring up what's that guy, Tate?
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate, yeah.
So it's just similar. They both went through, to me, I think, similar situations. All comes down to honesty. Andrew Tate was honest throughout.
Yeah.
You know, that was his opinion. He felt about it. He didn't lie. He didn't promote a lifestyle that wasn't real. Even though he got taken down, he still had a huge following.
yeah.
It's still huge
Now
now.
you have Liver King promote a lifestyle by lying,
And-
and it's just tanking. And it's like, to me, it's the same thing. It's just one was lying and one wasn't. And you can see the impact of just being genuine.
And you know,
About
man,
who you
Gary, and you're so right about that because Gary Vee says, man, you know, social media didn't come here to do anything but just expose
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
faster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what it does is if you have a crappy product or service, it's just going to expose that faster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you have a great service, it's just going to put it out there faster because, man, and you know, somebody asked, I was listening to him the other day as I was driving to Nashville. You know, he said, so what do you, like, their question was like, do you think social media is bad? And he was like, no. And he said that. Yeah. But then they asked him, I guess, like, what do you think, like, about the Holocaust and all this? And he's like, to be honest, I think if social media was around back then, man, like, it would have been prevented quicker. You know what I'm saying? Because,
I agree.
Like, for example, the things that were going on in Iran, dude, like, you know, their internet was being cut off after certain hours or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they couldn't post things and they couldn't do things because they're having like some crazy stuff going on over there that the world doesn't even know about. Right. You know?
Well, even like you can even bring it down to like city level, like police brutality and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff that people didn't know that only got spoke about, like, let's say in like rap songs or something. Now that there's video and there's evidence of what's going on, it's like social media would have done the same thing. You could have brought it back to any generation. It's like it would have prevented so much stuff at that point in time.
Yeah, that's why I'm more of the opinion of a lot of people say, is the world worse now? I think it's always been this way. I think now just we can see it.
It's just everybody can see it. That's what it is, man. In my opinion, I feel like it's just if you're fake, you're fake, and people are gonna find out. You know.
Yeah.
But going back to what I was saying about the controversial thing, but you know, I see, especially in the Hispanic community. I'm just gonna say it, man. You know, I don't care if I catch heat for it. It's just like David said, it has to be said so other people can. Yeah. Like, there's other people out there that agree with it, you know. Yeah. But I've been seeing, man. I've been studying a lot, like, you know, of Middle Tennessee platforms or social media platforms that are in bigger cities. Let's just not say any names, but that are in bigger cities, man. And they believe, and the reason I say they believe, it's not like I've heard it from their mouth, but the content they're pushing out is letting me know what they believe, you know, what they look into. And they believe that shoving cells down people's throats, or not down people's throats, but into their face, which, you know, we got TV 3.0 streaming, anything that's streaming wise on the internet. You know, it's like they believe still things that worked 15, 10, 20 years ago are still working today. And it's not like that, because you go and you see their platforms, their followers, and they have a lot of followers, which 100,000, 200,000 is a lot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. But they're not even getting 10% of their viewers to either watch or engage their videos. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so it's like, that should tell you everything you know. So if you're doing something and your people aren't engaging with it, then you have to analyze that problem. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I feel like that's not what they're doing. Like, you know, they have more people watching them on their own personal pages. Yeah. Why is that?
Yep. I think it's an ego problem. You know, I think that the core root is an ego problem, because it's like you spend time to create whatever content, right? It takes time. You got to put a lot of effort into it. So when it strikes out, you going to swallow that and be like, what I did not work. Yeah. Like, that's an ego thing to be like, okay, it didn't work. What can I do? Yeah. Right. So I think that's the core issue.
Yeah. I also think it's that they just see the numbers.
Yeah.
But they don't go into the analytics. Like, the most important is retention.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter
if 100,000
if 100,000 people watched it if they clicked off in 10 seconds.
Exactly. Yeah. And you know, man, that's the number one thing, dude. People do not pay attention to the numbers. Numbers don't lie, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, I got into a little not argument, but a little conversation with some guy that he's on a show, and you know, he said something about numbers don't lie, and I'm like, okay, numbers don't lie. Let's compare numbers, my man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, because I felt like he was trying to attack me in a way that was like, okay, you're not getting views, and I'm like, I don't really care, bro. I'm doing this because I like it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it because I want to make money off of it, which everybody's purpose should be to make something off of it. But I'm doing it because I enjoy doing it. I like doing it, you know? And I'm like, bro, if you want to talk about the numbers, let's talk about the numbers. Let's sit there and analyze. Let me go through your analytics, bro. And let me see how many out of those 10,000 views are 3-second views. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, because people don't pay attention to that. It's like, if you go to your analytics, it tells you 3-second views, 1 minute views, and then it tells you your average duration time of the viewers. You know what I'm saying? How average the amount of minutes that they watch you. And so it's like, if you know your video within the first 3 seconds, dude, it's getting more than 75% of people are clicking away, then you got to do something about it. You know, that tells you everything. Like, the beginning of the video should be a hook on there. It should be entertaining. It should grab people's attention at the very beginning, you know? Yeah. And then you see, like, okay, let's say you convert those 3-second viewers into 1 minute viewers. is your content within that first minute good, or what is it that you're doing wrong? Why are people clicking off after that? You know, but I don't know. You guys speak on that. Like, what do you guys think?
I think people try to make it too professional, like,
Yeah.
and that's not what people like to see anymore. I mean, the biggest podcast in the world are comedians. Joe Rogan's a comedian at the end of the day.
You know, and talking about that, bro, I just watched Gary with this Australian comedian guy. I can't remember his name, bro, but I told my wife, I'm like, I have been consuming Gary V's content for like the last 4 or 5 years, dude. You know what I'm saying? And I've watched his short form content, but I like to watch his long form content more because I feel like, man, it's crazy, bro. Like, it's so much knowledge in there, man.
Get more out of it.
And I told her, I was like, man, funny that you brought up the comedian thing, because I told my wife, I'm like, I've never laughed more and learned so much at the same time than this podcast here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was crazy though, man. But you're right, man. Go ahead. My bad for cutting you off.
Yeah, I was just saying, people just want to see people talk. Like, they don't want to feel like it's a professional environment.
No.
They don't want it to feel scripted. I think people just want relatability. They want it to feel real. They want to see people how they actually are, because at the end of the day, everybody's just a regular person.
You almost feel like you're in the conversation yourself. Right?
Yeah.
So that's the atmosphere that's, if you can create that, then
So going forward, what do you think small businesses should be doing to grow their audience, to get their product or service out there?
Reach out to NewGen. No, I'm kidding.
For sure. No, let's go do it. Reach out to NewGen.
Just start a social media page, clean it up, put all your information on there. That way you look legit. It don't look like it's half-assed, you know?
Yeah.
And just the content doesn't have to be 100% quality. Just put a little effort into it and make it look well.
At least be consistent with it.
And then engage with your customers, you know. Get into the weeds, get into the comments, start talking to people, asking questions. Well, you know, this is the product that we have. What do you guys think about this? Right? Just start talking to them. Then you'll know, right, what your customers are thinking, what they're feeling, and then turn that into transactions.
You know, and you're completely right about that, man. One thing that, and you know, I think Freddie brought it up earlier about people don't. Was it you that said that they don't reply to the comments and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's just they see it, and like I remember he said it before. It's like, take that instead of like as a negative comment, as an attack on you or your business. Take it as a chance to like actually see it, like, how can I improve it? Because obviously there was a problem, or you know, find a way to solve that.
Yeah, and if you focus in what people are actually commenting, man, people would actually let you know what works and what doesn't work. You know what I'm saying?
And they're more willing to tell you on social media than come to your business and tell it to your face. So it's like,
because I mean, there's a big barrier between you and them through social media, you know. But man, and you know, like I had this lady, I was doing the podcast with a younger guy that I brought on the podcast, you know, and my thing is, when I bring somebody on the podcast, I want them to get valuable information, and or maybe not them, but the podcast be as some value to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I want to provide as much value to the person that is here on this couch or on the table or whatever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, for the future. And this man, we were talking. He was a young guy, you know, 19, 20 years old, whatever, you know, and he doesn't really have a business, but he's more of influencer, like an entertainer, a creator, you know. Yeah. And I brought him on for that purpose, you know. And there was this lady on there, man, that was like, "Oh, this is boring. This is for kids," you know. And I'm like, "Hey, lady, I understand and I appreciate the feedback, but I want you to understand that this isn't for everybody. Every episode is not going to be for everybody, and I'm 100% aware of that. Right? You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to please everybody. In a way, I am, but not really. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm trying to bring valuable information to whoever it is that it applies for that moment. You know what I'm saying?
I think you bring up a good point, because another issue that we see is, like, sometimes the business owners don't know who their audience is. Yeah. So they think anyone who has $1 is their audience, which isn't necessarily true, right? It depends on what service you're selling. You may try to sell to everyone, but could really be losing money if you don't niche and find who your true audience is.
Yeah, and you know, people say, how can I find my niche? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you guys can give your opinion on this. You know, my opinion is put out content. Yeah. Put out content. Yeah. And your niche will find you. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Most people are thinking, "Oh my God, what can I do? What can I do?" Dude, just, you know. And Gary Vee says, document instead of create. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because documenting is like, you're just documenting your everyday life, what you're doing, and you'll get better the more you do it. You know? Yeah. But what do you guys think about that? Finding your niche.
I think just put yourself on camera, be you, and then just see who relates, who has your same thoughts, who shares the same things, same values, and it'll go from there.
And most importantly, like, Facebook keeps the demographics of who's viewing your stuff. So you can know, you still have to put out a lot of content, but once you do, it's like you have like a plethora of information and data that's like, oh, people between this age who live in this area they really like my content, dive deep into that and try to pull more of that out.
And if you put out a lot of content, which is probably why Gary Vee says put out so much content, because then you can see all the analytics and be like, all right, I put out, let's say, 30 pieces of content this week. These like 9 hit. And then you can look at those 9 and be, okay, what did I do in these that so many people liked?
And that's very important that you brought up, man. Analyzing the results after you put out the content. You know what I'm saying? Most people just put it out there, and once it starts getting some virality, you know what I'm saying? They just, okay, whatever. You know, they try to mimic the same thing, but they're not really understanding what was the key component in there that made it go viral. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the cuts you made, the background, I don't know, man, because it's like the algorithm just picks certain things, and it's like, but if you sit there and analyze the content that gave you the views, that gave you the comments, that gave you the traction, compared to the ones that didn't, you'll understand why, you know?
Yep.
But you got to be consistent with that, because if you only do it a few times,
Exactly.
you don't have enough data. You don't.
Yeah, you don't.
Exactly.
It's just a whim. Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you guys think is the number one thing people could be doing for like a small business owner to just feel more confident about the social media things? You know what I'm saying? Maybe somebody that's like older, that doesn't really understand it too much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can always push it out, right? It doesn't have to necessarily be your responsibility, so you can always push it out. But second, if you're selling a product or a service that you really believe in, stand on it and let people know.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about, you know, of course, you know, like the business, but also feature yourself on it, be a little bit more genuine on there, like let your personality, because I've seen from my line of work, I've seen a lot of people are not really confident. They think that they have to be perfect on camera, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, just be yourself, you know?
Exactly. Be relatable. That's essentially what you're saying. Be yourself, be relatable, because there's almost 8 billion people on the planet. I'm pretty sure some of them are just like you, going through the same exact problems, who want to hear from people like you of how are you getting through your day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I don't know how much you pay attention to like the esports side world, like those giant content organizations, but the biggest ones, always their owners are always at the forefront of the content.
Yeah.
And you can see how the whole culture of these gigantic, like I'm sure you've heard 100 Thieves, like their owner, he's a huge content creator when he started it, and he's always at the front of the content. So like, and you can see how the owner can set the whole culture for your whole business.
Yeah. So Freddie, from an editor's point of view, what do you think people should be doing to just create content? You know what I'm saying? Like, do they need any fancy equipment? Do they need a fancy computer?
No, not really, because almost everybody has an iPhone, and that quality is already
No Androids.
Team iPhone, baby. Let's go.
pixels. But yeah, like that, the quality of an iPhone is already, it's very good. To the fact people shoot like little short movies and stuff. Like there's movies that have been done on YouTube just with iPhones. So you don't need like $1,000 camera.
Yeah. Also adding on to that, it's like how much are you really trying to do? Like a 10-minute video does not require like gigantic amounts of RAM and like hardware and stuff like that.
How much would you recommend to a small business owner to put out a 10-minute video and then chop it up into something else?
Like a budget?
Well, I'm saying like them produce the content, like maybe like Freddie said, grab their phone, sit down talk about their experience of, you know what I'm saying? For example, it could be my restaurant is Fajitas Mexican restaurant, you know what I'm saying? And you know, of course not on my business page, but on my own personal page, to just get comfortable in front of the camera. Set my phone up one day where I'm just not doing anything but watching TV, setting my camera up and just speaking. Yeah. Just talking, even if I don't post it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like every day, man, like just talking. So I get familiar, comfortable with the camera. And then when I'm comfortable, putting those online, chopping it up into smaller little sections, you know? Like, I mean, that could be an idea of, and imagine, bro, like everybody says, wouldn't it be so cool if we had video of Elon Musk when he started Tesla, or when he started all these companies, or Steve Jobs, or whoever it is, you know, or Jeff Bezos or whatever. I'm not saying that we're gonna blow up like them, but maybe, you know,
we are. That's the goal. That's the goal. Yeah,
that's the purpose.
You plant the seed.
But how I mean, would you guys recommend that, or what would you say for them to get more comfortable in front of the camera?
I saw this tweet the other day that said, "If you're not making content, I don't trust you."
Oh, wow. That's true. That's true.
I would say just practice. Because like your first time, expect it to be bad, but just know the more you do it, it's just going to get better. Like that's just how it's going to work. Because quality's going to get better. You're going to know how to edit better. You're going to know how to adjust the lighting to make it better, to speak better, right? To speak more correctly, to pronounce it louder. So all these other things, like it's just going to improve. So that first time, expect it to be poor, but that 100th time, compare them. Look at the progress that you've made.
Yeah.
You know what I'd really like to see? I want to see a restaurant like when they're like in the middle of like their peak time. Just someone record like the kitchen and how hard like everybody's working and the chaos.
Bro, it's crazy.
Just so people can see
as
like
simple as that.
I'm not getting your food to you 10 minutes late on purpose. Like look at what's happening back here. It's crazy.
And that goes back to like we're not really solving the issue of you not having a social media. We're solving the time issue.
Yeah.
Because easily pick up a phone, go record, go post it. Just as easy, we could easily come in and do that, just like they could do.
Yeah.
But you don't have the time. So that's truly the only problem that we're solving.
Yeah, the time problem. Yeah, no, you're completely right, man. You know, I see the future of marketing as in influencers and you know, oh man, hold on, let me get my phone real quick. I want to read you guys this thing, Gary. And I know I keep bringing up Gary, man, but I just
No, that's all right.
we're
Just marry him, bro.
bro, I wish I could. Bro, I'd sit back and not do anything for the rest of my life.
Did you ever watch the Antonio Brown and Patrick?
No, bro, is it good?
I think that's the best example of if a podcast goes wrong, how to handle it.
Or seriously,
Yeah.
why did you go nuts or something?
Dude, I'm just to say watch it.
Bro, I
Watch
have
it.
not watched it because I'm like thinking in the back of my mind, Antonio Brown is crazy as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm
He
like,
shows
I
it.
don't know what kind of value
He
this guy is
shows
gonna
it.
add to my life.
How not to be. How
So
not-
he goes nuts on there?
Yeah, dude. And Patrick is like, he's like taking the headset off. He's like, we can end this right now. I'm like,
Do they end it?
No, he handles it like a professional, dude. Yeah.
What
The best, I think, it's the
bro?
best way to handle a podcast that goes wrong. Like if you have just a guest that's just like
Bro,
pirate.
I'm definitely gonna go watch.
Did you see that guy that got in a fight on No Jumper?
Oh, that was sitting in the chair.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know what he said. The other guy,
Oh,
the guy
the
got
dude
up
that
and
was
started
like
punching
up
him.
there and he just got up.
Yeah.
Bro.
See,
I'm
that's-
like, oh my god.
That's what we
bro.
need.
You need to put him side by side.
Bro, no, the crazy thing is, bro, if you're talking smack and this dude is leaned back like this and you're leaned back and the dude sits up like this, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, you already know this dude isn't fighting.
Bro, it tells me
You
he's
know
never
what-
gotten a fight before because he's too relaxed. He's like, you don't see what's going on.
I was like, as soon as I saw that video, bro, I was like, bro, as soon as this guy's set up, bro, I'm sitting up
Yeah,
too because
exactly.
I know something's going down.
Yeah.
Especially if my next word out of my mouth is bitch.
Exactly.
Bro, he said
Exactly.
something. I'm getting up. Like, all right.
Bro, I was like, what the heck, bro?
You
Like,
got to
no-
mirror the movement at that point.
Bro, a buddy of mine posted that, and I was like, bro, what the hell is wrong with this dude? He just literally, bro, got like beat the fuck out of him, like on like freaking internet, bro. Like it's all over.
Dude, that's one of those guys that talks trash all the time and nobody's hit him.
Yeah.
And this is the finally it happened
Keep
to
those
him.
people away from you, man. They're gonna get you in
Hold
trouble.
up, bro. I got this thing somewhere. Just here it is. Okay. So this is what Gary Vee, and you guys give me your opinion on this. I'm just gonna read it and you guys go.
Right.
So Gary Vaynerchuk says, and he's talking about NFL Sunday Ticket. You know, when Sunday Ticket goes to YouTube, it will be another nail in the coffin. By the hour, the world is moving to streaming and CTV. Cable is in deep shit, and so is network. Commercials on these platforms are in even worse shape. Brands need to start making commercials that don't look like commercials, and they need to bring some value to the viewer. As we move to these services, it's a huge opportunity for small businesses and creators and entrepreneurs because Fortune 500 companies still don't know how to make ads on these platforms. Take advantage and become a creative engine for ads that are worth watching.
You know what I'd like to see that I wish I could see is the numbers of how much Prime is selling right now compared to like Gatorade and Powerade.
Bro.
Yeah.
And it's just being pushed by two creators.
Well, how much the younger generation knows about Gatorade? You know?
Yeah.
That too. Because that really shows how the market is moving to. Because have you seen Logan and KSI, like the videos they make for Prime? like how they market
Prime,
it.
you're talking Prime, the
The
drink.
yeah.
Oh,
drink.
I'm sorry. I
No, not
thought you were talking
Amazon
about Prime from
Like-
Amazon.
No.
I was like, okay, yeah, there could be a selling a shit ton of Prime. You know?
No, the
okay,
Prime
I got
drink.
you. Yeah. No, and the perfect example of that, man, is too like, yeah, I've seen Prime everywhere because of Logan Paul and KSI. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
bro, it's on their podcast. It's people are drinking it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Face Banks, I think, was on there, and this is how much they believe in the marketing, bro. He wasn't even drinking the product; he was drinking tea in it, and he said it on the thing.
Yeah.
He was like, "It's not Prime, it's tea." He's like, "But I'm just drinking it to help the guys out." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And bro, it's like, I mean, it's kind of like lying, but it's marketing in this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the dude they don't give a fuck. They just said it. You know what
Well,
I'm
they're
saying?
honest. It's honest.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he's saying it right there.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
honesty
The dude
in
was
their
like, it's not
brand.
even Prime, bro. It's
Yeah.
tea, but I'm doing it just to promote it. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause-
Yeah.
And that's what the future is, man. Like, I don't know if you see, bro. Like, I'm sorry, you guys. What's your opinion on that, Freddie?
Well, I see it as like, in terms of making it like entertaining. Because sometimes I'll like on YouTube, I'll watch a video and it seamlessly cuts to like, I wouldn't even say a pitch. Like I watch Google Foods, and they do like they do experiments on steaks like sous vide. They cover it in mustard, let it sit for a month. But like it throughout the video, it cuts to like the product, whatever they're trying to promote for like a promo code or something, and it's seamless and it actually like brings your attention in, like especially if you want to get like in that area, like good at steaks cooking or whatever it is. It's very seamless, and that's what I would like to see in more ads instead of just like an abrupt like commercial. You know what I'm saying?
I think they're unrelatable. I mean, just think of like a shaving commercial. It's always some fit guy that's shaving. It's like, bro, I haven't had a six pack since I was
Bro, like, I've never had a six-pack.
It's like, that's the last time I'm not in the shower. You know, everything's perfect. So it's like, that's unrelatable,
Yeah.
right? And like, you have what's it? Dr. Squatch. They did perfect commercial. They just had regular people promoting soap, and it was like, that's relatable. Even though it's still a commercial style, it's more relatable than like Dove soap or anything like that.
Well, that's what's cool about like YouTubers doing the commercials now, because they can actually use the product in their video that they're making for entertainment, and now it's like you have product placement, but it's like seamless product placement.
Yeah. And you know, I think you're seeing it a lot with, and you've always seen it with like athletes. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why brands pay billions of dollars to athletes. You know what I'm saying? Because they have, for example, Messi. Messi just won the World Cup, man, and you know he now has the most liked photo on Instagram. It's over 71 million likes, and it's like, since he won the World Cup, man, he's been putting out, and even before he won the World Cup, but since after, man, he did a collab with Call of Duty, I guess like the mobile or whatever, and people are like commenting on it, bro. It had like a stupid amount of comments in like the first 4 minutes, you know, and it's like, everybody's like, bro's doing side quests now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny. You know what I'm saying? But that's relatable to the people that are playing Call of Duty and just trying to keep up with Messi, you know?
Well, it's Call of Duty understanding like what they need to do to market their stuff.
Yeah.
They could have just put out a commercial like, here's our game. This is what you can do on our game. It's like, we'll just get Messi in here.
Bro, like, everybody's eyes are on Messi right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
He's a top. He's what's trending right now.
and man, I do believe, and that's why I'm like going back to the young kid that I brought on my podcast. That's why I brought him on, you know, because he's got two platforms. He's got one that's between both of them, he has almost 8,000 followers, you know, and and he does dancing and stuff like that. He's a youngster, you know, and I brought him on, and I'm like, I see him promoting people's bailes, like, you know, parties and stuff like that, and then I see him promoting bailes for a DJ. And I'm like, bro, you need to start charging. You know what I'm saying? Because, bro, you're giving him... It's nothing but, like, his demographics is... Or his target audience is, I would say, 15 to 20-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? And, bro, it's like he pushes it out. And he showed me his stories, man. His stories... One story gets, like, 2,000 views or more. You know what I'm saying? And all those kids, bro, are in the Middle Tennessee area. You know, he has some that are from other states and stuff like that. But, bro, the majority of them are these young adults that go to these dances, that meet him there, that see he's posting on social media and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I told him, like, bro, I brought you on the podcast because I know and I believe that you're at one point going to be the future of how these small businesses are going to advertise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's more impactful for, let's say I own a hair salon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These young kids like to look good. They like to have a nice haircut, you know? And so it's more impactful for me to hire Jabron that has 6,000 followers. And out of those 6,000 followers, 80% of his followers are from the Middle Tennessee area. And you know what I'm saying? It's more impactful for me to say, hey, Jabron, how much would you charge me?
Yeah.
I'll cut your hair for free.
Right.
How much would you charge me to you just make a video, man, of you not even speaking about my, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, hey, come with me to get a haircut or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And then come to my salon, post that on your social media and stuff like that.
Or you can even do it the other way. Like, the way I see the video in my head is like, you just see him walking into the salon, right?
Yeah.
You see him get a nice haircut, and then you watch him get dressed, and then you watch
And
him
then
go
he
to one of
looks
these
good,
parties.
yeah.
You watch him at one of these
Exactly,
parties.
You know, yeah.
that
You just
he's already
experience
doing
how
it.
one of our processes. We make videos. This is how it goes.
And that's how it should go. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Actually, give me contact with that kid, bro.
But you know, and that's why I brought Christian Hell on. You know, the rapper guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if Christian, bro, and I told him, bro, I was like, bro, your videos have 75K views on it, 61K views on it. And I know he's promoted with other places and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, if you take those videos, bro, and chop them up, put up like, and even you, man, people want to know who you are. People want to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Put it out there, man.
Yeah.
Put it out there. There's people that's gonna relate to you, especially in the rap industry, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, he should probably be vlogging.
Yeah.
Something.
I think he was doing the basketball thing. Like, that
Yeah.
would have been huge if you could have got that out quicker than like a day before, 2 days before. Just
Bro,
you can
imagine.
build up to it.
Yeah.
you
Well,
know?
I mean, for me, it would have been like, imagine if he would have just vlogged this process, bro, of going from one country, because he went from one country to another to play ball, you know?
Yeah.
And it's, imagine, bro, if he would have, like, documented all that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the amount of kids, bro, that have that same vision he had,
Right.
that would relate to that.
Yeah.
Man, in America?
Right.
Oh, my God, bro.
He would
Yeah.
have views like that, followers
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I kind
No,
of.
you're good. You're good. This is the part. This is a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
But, you know, with New Gen, man, what do you think? What do you see the future?
I think I can agree with Gary. Like, TV's going down the drain. I think sports are the only thing that's keeping it alive. And as you
Yeah.
can see,
It's going to
yeah,
streaming.
YouTube has access to sports now.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime has football now for Thursday. So, like, it's slowly moving. If the World Cup was only on streaming services, like, look at how many viewers, like, Spectrum would have lost.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So,
I mean,
I
the
think
Champions
it's-
League is on Paramount.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Watch on the
it's, it's slowly moving towards that. So,
And you know, my thing is for I know small business owners don't really believe in social media,
yeah.
but I have seen the trend more in the Hispanic community, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I want to do these things, and that's why, you know, because I feel like a lot of them want to pay attention, but they don't know where to pay attention.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's like,
And if you run a business, there's probably been a couple of times you've had like a greasy salesman comes up and like that puts a damper on your experiences for someone else to come up and be like, hey, I can help you. And you're like, well, this last guy said he could help me, but I only end up losing X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
You know, so just trying to break that. Not everyone is there to get into your pockets. Like,
yeah.
we're genuinely there to try to help get this working. That way you can see benefits. And because if you see benefits,
Yeah.
we see benefits.
Yeah, and I feel like if you go with an agency that's, well, not an agency, just somebody that comes to your door but is like from a bigger city and they're trying to reach out, it's like to them you become just another number.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of hiring somebody that's local or somebody that you can physically see that is
Yeah.
like, okay, that has a plan. I'm gonna be coming to your business maybe 3 times a month or a week, I'm sorry, or whatever it is, you know?
Yeah.
And just establish that human connection, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the most important thing.
Which it's funny because it's like, even though we have this new technology with like Facebook and stuff, it's trending back to old traditional styles to where like before social medias and there was only like, 2 or 3 stores in your town,
Yeah.
those 2 or 3 stores helped each other
Yeah.
to stay active, to stay relevant. If they needed this and one had it, they would barter. Now it's like you don't see that anymore with social media coming around. You see stuff like people who create content who are able to be like, okay, I'll barter, help sell your service, and then you can use me to promote whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's like a what's it called? Where like no matter how many things change, it's still the same or whatever that saying is.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be nice if more small businesses were like, let's help other small businesses, right?
And you know, I feel like the way that my platform has grown to the almost 700 followers it has right now is because I've done a lot of collaborating, you know, and I kind of feel like that's what you were kind of aiming at in a way with what you just said, collaborating. And I do feel like that's a great way, man, to benefit. Like it's a mutual benefit.
Yeah,
you know
everyone
what I'm
wins.
saying? And it's like collaborating, man. Like I had this guy that was in a music contest in California, in Los Angeles, in Spanish, man. And the dude, man, like he came on, bro, and it's been one of my most watched videos. You know, it's like almost 2,000 views. And I know, I mean, not a lot of those are probably minute or whatever, but he had a lot of people, man, come on from. He's from Guerrero, Mexico, and a lot of those people came on, man, and they stuck around, man, for him. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people that saw him on the show were like, "Hey, man, I'm from Guatemala, and I saw you on the show, dude." Like, and, you know, and they're stuck around for 10, 15 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
But, and I'm like, that's why I like doing collaborations, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that, like, with the purpose of my podcast is, I'm like I was telling you guys the other days, I want to have 3 different things. One where we talk about information like this, another one for entertainment, another one for photography and videography.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always work out that way.
Well, it's growing. It's a growing process. So it's like the most important thing is like it's one thing to grow quickly. It's another thing to grow correctly, which is like what I try to tell these guys. Yeah, is like I don't want $1 million overnight, right? But I'd rather have like the process and everything down smoothly, and like we're ready for that $1 million.
Yeah. Because we can take like a whole bunch of clients right now.
Yeah.
But we're just gonna do a bad job with all of them.
Exactly.
Instead of we get clients slowly, and then we get a good process going, and it's like now once the process is perfect and we got it where we want it, now we can take in all the clients because we just know what steps to follow.
So how do you guys go about, like, let's say I hire you, like how many times a week are you coming to do something, or how does the process go?
It depends on the package that you purchase, but let's say you get the maximum like premium package. So we'll have a conversation, try to set things up. If we need to record, we need to get videos, we'll set a date for that. And then at that point, we need access to like your Facebook, your Twitter, whatever social media that we agreed to work on. And it's not like the business owner loses access. They just grant us access. So they can,
just like an addition.
Exactly. So they can still get on and they can still post whatever they want. We'll never be like, you paid us to post, you can't post. It's like, if you want to post, go for it.
Yeah,
you know?
dude,
Yeah, so it's like, that's just more content. And so after all that's said and done, if you purchase the premium, we're probably meeting monthly, just in case if you have any sales. If we know in advance, we can build up to it. So it's not like we find out Wednesday you're having a sale on Thursday. We knew 2 weeks ago, so we can be like, hey, on this date we're going to have sales. So it gets people knowing that okay, they're having sales, I'm going to stop by then.
Yeah. And you know, that's another thing that's a good point that you brought up, man. Most people promote themselves the day of or like the day before.
That's poor.
You know?
That's a poor way to do it.
You got to build anticipation.
Yeah, build
like,
anticipation. We'll let people know.
And then they get upset because nobody comes to the sale. But it's like, okay, like how long were you? Well, we just started yesterday. We posted on Facebook yesterday. It's like, okay, well, do you realize that the reason we're saying you need to post content is because not everybody that follows you sees that content. You know what I'm saying?
You see things from like 3 days ago.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
So you need like 2 weeks so people everybody can see it.
Exactly. And it's like the more you post, the higher probabilities are that you're gonna get seen. You know what I'm saying? And you're staying relevant. You know.
And if you're having a sale, if you're on like some of the social medias that allow you to boost your post, if you're going to have sales, boost them in advance. You know, spend $5, $10, $20 to get your post out there and get it boosted. And
that's where I was heading next, man. About the promoting boosting a post, you know, and it's like it's so darn cheap, man.
Just in case no one knows what boosting is, because we didn't know what boosting was.
Let the people know.
It's just basically you're paying to have your post almost pushed up in the algorithm to have it seen by more eyes, and you can choose the demographics. You can choose essentially anything that you want to put on there, and hashtags, whatever, to be able to push it to where it's a little bit better than a regular post.
And the importance of having somebody like these guys that know is if you're in Shelbyville and you're a hair salon and don't have a website, you're not going to benefit people from Seattle, Washington seeing you.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if you just do like women's hair, like if 50% of your views come from men, that's not going to help at all.
Because men are just there to see the women.
Exactly.
They're not trying to get their hair done by you.
You need a different post at that.
But yeah, no, and that's so important, man, to actually have people like Jabron, Freddie, and David to that know how to work those and how to actually boost the post properly, how to pay Facebook to boost that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, because I do see people get discouraged when they boost the post on their own, and it's like, well, I had a lot of people watch it, but it was people from other states, and I don't do anything that those people could benefit from.
Right.
And they're like, it didn't work for me, and they give up.
Yeah.
But it's because they didn't know how to set the right
the parameters around it to get it to who they wanted to see. And it used to be, I read this book not too long ago where like the early days of Facebook, you could boost a post and you can literally narrow it down to one individual and they would be the only one to see it. And the guy tested it out by putting that person's name in the advertisement and it went just to that person. You can't do that now. I think now it's like the limit is like 10 or something.
Yeah.
But that's how strategic you can be. Like if you just wanted 10 people, like you can get down to what do they like to watch? What have they liked? Is it sports? All the way down to that to get to who you want as your clients.
Yeah, and I've seen, with the boosting or sponsoring, whatever you want to call it, because there's a lot of names for it out there. Sponsored video or post or boosted post or whatever. Every platform has its different name for it. Yeah. But man, and what we were talking about earlier, and I think Freddie was talking about how they integrated that video or whatever product they were selling or trying to sell into that video.
The product placement of it.
Yeah, and so man, you see that a lot on TikTok, dude.
Yeah.
Like I mean, and that's why I guess that's why TikTok has been so successful, dude, because they know how, and you can see the difference when you go from watching TikToks to watching shorts on YouTube to watching reels on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah,
you can see the difference in the strategy behind the how to sell a product. Like, dude, there's been times where I'm scrolling through TikTok and I don't even know it's a sponsored video until I look at the very bottom and it says sponsored video. And then I'm like, what the heck, bro? I've been watching a sponsored video for the last 30 seconds,
Dude, I watched this like 5-part TikTok the other day. And it wasn't until part 4 that I realized I can't remember what it was. It was a sponsored thing, but it was 5 parts.
Oh my God, bro.
And it wasn't until part 4, because I kept going, because like he was like making some dish or something, some snack. And it wasn't until part 4 that I realized he was advertising the bowl.
Bro, and that's how they get you, like it's and I love TikTok for that reason, dude. I mean, TikTok right now, man, I've been trying to study the different platforms, man. I've been trying to put a lot of attention, or at least the amount of attention that I can afford to give them, because I try to do a lot of things, but man, it's been so hard on TikTok, man.
Yeah, TikTok's the one I don't get.
Just actually try to get some type of virality on there,
Yeah.
It's so random.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have one video that's almost to 100,000 views. And that's viral to Shelbyville.
Right.
But that's not really considered virality in the viral world. You know what I'm saying?
Like if you're in like LA or something.
Exactly,
something like that.
But and it's, I don't know why, I love TikTok. But it's hard, man. It's hard on there, and I could see why people get discouraged. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to post on there, especially if you're a small business owner, because TikTok is now just giving 30 views, 200 views, and then it gets stuck at 200 views. And that's where you have a team like NewGen, where they analyze the videos, because it's 3 different brains thinking, and they analyze the videos, and they're like, okay, these are the things that we saw that might work in this video. Let's compare it to a video that isn't working properly, and then I'm sure you guys go in there and analyze, okay, if this shows in this video, if this shows in the good video but it also shows in the bad video, that's a factor that we shouldn't keep doing, because it obviously doesn't work. But if you see something in the good video that isn't in the bad video, whatever that thing might be, then you know that that's gonna work,
And usually, like anything that does well, we'll boost it. Because we know, because we know it's already done well
organically.
Without a paid audience. Now let's just push it out there and let everyone see it.
And that's a really good point you bring up, man. the more you post, the higher probabilities are to go viral, and the higher your probability is to have a piece of content that actually is relatable to a big audience, and then you know that content is going to work if you put money behind it.
Yeah.
You know, the old way was we pay a company thousands of dollars to come produce this really nice commercial, but we absolutely have no idea if it's going to work. We're just putting it out there. We have no idea if people are going to relate to it. We have no idea if we're just going to waste our money.
Well, back with TV, it was easier because you just have to buy a good time slot on TV.
That's true.
And then you just make whatever. It doesn't matter. People are going to see it because they're watching that channel.
And it was the only thing that was on
Yeah,
at the time.
that's all that was on.
It's like, it's a big deal, those Super Bowl commercials. Right?
Yeah.
That's why it's so expensive to get one.
Bro, it's like
that's wild.
$5 million. From what I've read, like for a 30-second commercial on the
that's
Super
it.
Bowl or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, bro, I don't even watch the commercials at the Super Bowl. I just, if I do, I just watch them because they've been building a hype around them on social media.
Yeah,
You know,
leading up
and it's
to
like,
it,
that's
yeah.
crazy. Like, they built the hype on social media so you can actually sit in front of the TV and watch a 30-second commercial.
Yeah.
The only commercial I remember really wanting to watch was a Gary Vaynerchuk one. But that's because he promoted the hell out of it on his social media. You know, they're like, hey guys, we're going to do our first, and I can't remember which, it wasn't that long ago. It was a few Super Bowls ago, Super Bowls ago, that he was promoting it, man. And it was like for Planters, I think, like the peanut.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know, we did our first Super Bowl commercial with Planters, or I don't know if I'm saying it right, but and he's like, man, it'd mean a lot for you guys to go check it out and give us some feedback, you know. And I'm like, cool, you know.
That's a good way to do it.
I knew millions of people were going to watch this and give him feedback, but I just wanted to see because I support Gary Vee, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Because he's given me so much value. It's like I support anything he does, and if I had the money to buy his NFTs, I would have bought an NFT.
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? But I'm broke, so.
Don't buy
NFT,
FTX.
right? I'm not buying nobody.
Don't buy FTX.
What do you guys think about NFTs?
Dude, Jesus himself could come down and try to sell me NFT, and I'm not buying it. Bro. I'm not doing it.
I have 2 or 3 NFTs that I'm holding on.
What are they?
Oh,
I have, and 2 of them are free because one of them is last year's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Yeah.
You know, they give them away this year too, and I couldn't get it, but because I was late. But last year I ended up getting one of them, and it's been sitting in my MetaMask wallet for a few months now. And at first it was just sitting there in their wallet or whatever wallet I had to create on whatever. Can't even remember
Whatever
the name of the
blockchain.
thing.
There's so many now, yeah.
But then I started looking at it and they're like, no, you need to move it into your own personal wallet, you know? And so bro, I started freaking out because I thought I had lost it because I was like, it was my very first time ever moving an NFT, and I was like, oh my God, bro, is this something about a contract or an ID number? And I'm like, I couldn't find it, bro, and I was like panicking. But, you know, at the end of the day, I ended up figuring it out. But it's that one. Then I have Jalen Duren. He's a basketball player that came out of Memphis. And he's playing for Detroit, I think, right now.
Yeah.
Can't remember who exactly he's playing for, but the reason I bought that one again because Gary Vaynerchuk, you know, and it was $20, dude. It's $20, and I was like, listen, any money that I put into these things, I might as well just act like I lost it.
Exactly.
You know?
I mean, if you go from that point of view, if you're looking to make $1 million, then just be wary, right? Don't
I'm looking
don't
at
put
it.
your whole savings into it.
I'm looking at it as in sports cards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I would have
think that's
bought
the approach.
From that way, it's
people
fine.
are.
If I would have bought it back in the 80s or 70s or whatever, when they were cheap, and now I had held on to it now, man, bro, imagine if I would have had like a freaking Messi, let's just say soccer, Messi like rookie card or whatever.
Right.
And right now he's won the World Cup. They're probably selling for a stupid amount online.
For sure.
I was listening to this podcast the other day, and they were talking about stocks. Of like, you would have held Amazon stocks in the 90s.
God, dude.
Right now, how much money you have, right? But then they made a good point because it's like nobody would have held on that long. It's like you would have seen it get to 100,000, sold it.
He
You're like, I'm
doesn't even
out.
hold it that long.
Yeah.
He only owns like 10%, less than 10%
Yeah.
of his
Yeah.
own stock. So like he didn't even hold it.
Yeah.
No one's holding that long.
But and I think the people that do hold it is because they're already filthy stinking rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the most.
They forgot about it probably.
What about crypto? What do you guys think about crypto?
I think if you
Shout
sell
out Sam
drugs,
Bankman.
if you sell drugs, trying to clean your money, buy crypto.
Oh God, man, I have some crypto, man. I've got some money.
It's all right. I think I don't know. It's going to be tough without regulation.
Yeah.
I mean, you seen what happened to FTX? The whole thing collapsed.
Dude just
without
got out, man.
Binance might
now.
Listen,
collapse next too.
money makes the world go round.
Yeah, it does. It
Dude, he was
does.
on a podcast saying, "I only have $100,000 left," And then
That's
you see
bull crap,
$250
dude.
million bill, and he's like, I got that.
Well, you know, I was looking at they don't know if he paid like the 10 or 20% on it, or if he actually paid the whole 250 or what.
Doesn't matter. It's still a lot of money.
Yeah, that's still a
Money,
crap
yeah.
ton of money, man. Like 10% of 250.
His girlfriend or ex-girlfriend just did. I was telling them she just did a plea deal, so she's definitely gonna rat him out on whatever's
Oh my
going on.
God, bro.
Yeah, she took a plea deal, so
Well,
it's
the
only a
problem
matter
is-
of time.
The way he looks. If this guy walks up to me and he's like, "Hey, give me $600 million,"
Right.
Bro,
I'm not doing it, bro.
I wouldn't even give you
I'm
a
not doing
dollar,
it.
bro. I mean, but no, that's crazy, man. Yeah, I have a little bit of crypto, man, and I'm glad I didn't do anything on FTX.
Yeah. Thank goodness. Yeah.
But
well, it's not even like the only one that's collapsed. There's been several
yeah,
that have been fraudulent.
like Luna. I don't know. I think it was
Yeah.
Terra Luna.
I've
I
heard
think
of
that's
that.
what it
Yeah.
was. Terra Luna, man, like just automatically when I think at the beginning of 2022, maybe.
Yeah.
Ended up going to like zero.
I know there was. It may have been that. There was one where like a lady was doing it. And she like fled the country, and she's still out now. She still has like billions of dollars.
Oh my
Good.
god.
Yeah, and like nobody can
Shout
find
out
This is
her.
why I can't trust it, bro. You just see so many videos of so many creators getting in trouble because they made an NFT
It
and
was a
then
lack of regulation.
they didn't fall through what they said.
Well, I mean, I do. There is some projects that I do believe in the NFT community that
Yeah.
will have great benefits to the people that bought them early on. You know, like for example, VeeFriends from Gary Vaynerchuk. Then you have like the Board API or whatever crap they're called, and the CryptoPunks and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You know,
Yeah.
but I mean, and I'm not really too much into the apes or the CryptoPunks or anything like that. But the Gary V, I follow Gary V and I see what he's trying to do with it. You
Yeah.
know.
Well, I think it's like the ownership of it because
Yeah.
like he brought when it first started becoming popular, he was like, I understood why he thought it would change because like if, let's say you're trying to make a rap song, but you don't have the funds to do it,
Yeah.
but you created like an NFT to where we put the money into it. Now we own the song. Now you can develop the song
Yeah.
and do whatever you need to do.
Mm.
So that aspect of it, that I think that's what's going to carry.
So it's almost like fundraising.
A little bit like fun, almost like owning stock of a business, right?
Yeah.
You give them money, hopefully in return you get dividends or whatever later down the road. Same idea. We helped create this song. I have ownership of it, so if we ever sell the masters of it, I get a piece of it back.
Thing is, you got to make a good song because
Yeah.
if that song fails,
Well, that's the
yeah.
Let me ask you another question towards the marketing, man, and
Yeah.
we'll wrap it up here in a minute because
Okay.
I mean we've been just talking about everything, which is good. I like it. You know what I'm saying?
That's how this podcast is supposed to be.
But do you guys think it's more beneficial to just mass produce a lot of content, or to sit down and actually think about a really good video and maybe only post once a week, but it's a really good video?
See, this is where we split. But I'll let Jabron, you tell his case. You tell your case. I'll tell my case.
I'm more of a quality guy because
Yeah.
what I really pay attention to is Mr. Beast. And Mr. Beast doesn't release that many videos,
You're right.
but he produces really, really high quality videos, and he's the most followed, he's the most subscribed guy on YouTube.
And he makes the most money on YouTube,
Yeah.
I think.
I think my opinion is like our clients are never going to turn into a Mr. Beast, you know, and
Yeah.
they probably don't care to.
Yeah.
So it's more so like just getting the content out there. So like a restaurant's a great example. If you have like 30 dishes, that's content a piece every day of the month.
Yeah. You have anything to add to that, Freddie?
Yeah, it's just the differences in the area that you're in.
Agree with me or you're fired.
Like if you are a YouTuber and you make videos like that, like let's say you're a reaction channel, they do one good video a week. That's good enough for them.
Yeah.
Quality. And then for like a restaurant or a small business, putting out a little more content, not
Yeah.
necessarily a very well produced video every week, but maybe every like once a month, maybe twice a month.
Yeah.
It'll help, but I guess on those it's more you're trying to get the immediate people around your area.
Yeah. And I agree with what you're saying, Freddie. I think, in my point of view, I think it's if you're a small content creator, restaurant, business, whatever it is, you should be producing the most content that is humanly possible.
Yeah.
That way, your probabilities and your odds are higher of actually something hitting, and you know what you need to focus on after that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, when you get to the point where you're like, okay, maybe I don't need to be producing so much content now because I now have. Let's just say your goal is to get monetized on YouTube.
Yeah.
Let's just say, you've reached the 4,000 hour watch requirement, and you're at 1,000 subscribers. And let's say, okay, that is where I want it to be. That's why I was producing so much content for the last 6 months. You know, now let's say you get to that goal. Now it's like, now I can actually sit back and produce more high quality content that I feel would be a little bit more engaging and stuff like that. And now I can change my strategy. Now it's like, okay, I'm not going to be producing maybe 20 pieces of content a week. Now I'm going to be producing 5, but those 5 are going to be jam packed full of whatever it is that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Of high quality, valuable content. You know, I do believe that if you're starting, you should be producing the most that you can. The most. I can see that. The most that you can, and then when you get to the certain goal that you place, whether it be 1,000 subscribers or 1,000,000 subscribers, when you get there, it's like, okay, now I can start actually seeing where I need to concentrate and actually produce the high quality content. And at the beginning, you got to think about it. Done is better than perfect, man.
Yeah.
You know, done is better than perfect.
I said this quote one time that Casey Neistat said, where he's like, "Don't let perfection get in the way of good enough," which he didn't like that quote.
I mean, man, and the reason I say that is because I'm so hard on my work. You know what I'm saying? I'm so hard on my work, and I'm so hard on my wife for the work that we do because she helps me and stuff. Yeah. And it's like, there's been a lot of times where I've prevented, where I haven't posted because I'm like, man, this isn't perfect. You know what I'm saying?
I have that same problem.
And it's kept me from getting my work out there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, then I started thinking, I'm like, how am I going to get it to the level that I want it if I'm not constantly doing it, posting it, and then receiving feedback from it? You know, I'm like, maybe my color grade is shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm always like the 1% better like mindset. So we may post this content, but next time we do it again, how can we make this 1% better? Yeah. So over time, you know, it's just going to amplify.
See, I'm a perfectionist, and when we edit the videos, even when we're done, I'm like, all right, that's good enough. We're not going to get it better. But in my head, I'm like, fuck.
Like, bro, I'm the same way, dude.
And that's why like our chemistry is so good. Like, we don't agree on everything, but that's what you need. Because like if it was a bunch of yes men, I would have fired you. Because what are you providing to me if you're just agreeing to everything that I'm saying?
Dude, me and David fight about everything. Everything we look at it different. Freddie's just in the middle, just.
But we know how to do like. It's not that we're arguing or fighting. We know how to have like a very constructive conversation. And there may be times where we in the conversation not agreeing, but like we respect each other's position on it.
And you know, I do believe content creating is hard, man.
It is. Yeah. It's time consuming. It's hard. Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard. And staying consistent and staying relevant is even harder, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially at the beginning when you're not making money out of it. Yeah. Because you got to sacrifice time almost for nothing.
Yeah.
My advice, and real quick, and then I'll ask you guys for your advice, and then we can close it up. My advice for a small business owner is, if you don't have the time to invest into creating your content, is come up with a budget. Come up with a budget that you can afford to pour into having somebody like Jabron, Freddie, and David, and New Gen come into your business and just freaking, man, mass produce everything and redo all your social media, you know, whether it be $100 a month or a week or whatever you can afford at this point, but give your money a purpose. Give your money a purpose, because marketing is not sales. Marketing is getting your name out there, getting your brand out there, letting people know who you are, you know what I'm saying? Through scaled relevance. And it's like, if you're not giving your money that purpose for your business, and you're potentially leaving a lot of money on the table, you know, what would your advice be to small business owners, just people in general?
My advice is going off your expectations.
Yeah,
you can put a lot of content out, and you can be consistent. But also, if your product is still not good at the end, like you got to look at that, because you can only push so much, you can only market so much if your product is not good. So you got to have them. Get your product good first, and then really push it once you're satisfied with it. Because we can only market it. We can't make it good. We can't make people like it.
Exactly. Yep.
That's a good point.
And I would say, like, match the energy that your product brings or that the content brings. Because sometimes you'll go into a business and it's like the service is not good. Or just the atmosphere is off. And I would say just have a because you can tell from like the top down if you meet a business owner, you can tell what kind of business they run or what kind of atmosphere it gives off. Because we met some very welcoming people.
Mm-hmm.
Like in terms of like a vape shop that we went to, the owner, he was very welcoming. He was all like, just, go ahead, do what you want, and like the doors are open, there's sun coming in the room. Just keep that same atmosphere, the same energy. Like have people come in, greet them. Just in terms of a small business.
Yeah.
So.
Real quick, David, before I lose my train of thought, I'm sorry.
But
What Freddie just said is really important, man. Because if you hire somebody, especially to create content for you, man, let them do their job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're creating them because you don't have time. You don't want to think about how to create the content. Maybe you're not creative enough. If you're hiring these guys or whoever it is that you're hiring, and you're sitting there dictating them, and all you're like, you're limiting their creativity, whatever they want to do. And all you want to do is, okay, I saw this video, or this is how we did it 10 years ago. This is how we did it whenever I was at a certain place. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Stop. That's not. It's only going to harm your business. It's only going to harm the results. Right.
Yeah. And we'll let you go as a client. Real quick, we'll let you go with this. I'm here. I'm going to protect my guys, protect their brain width, their stress. That way, it's not too much. It's like if you become too much, it's like it's not worth it to us. Right? Mm-hmm. We're here to make this enjoyable and help you succeed, as well help us succeed. Yeah. So if there's something there that's interrupting that, then we're going to regroup and be like, it's not worth it because money's not enough for us to take on a client. Yeah.
Real quick, I'm gonna ask you guys the last questions, and then we'll close it off. And if you guys have any thoughts or anything you guys would like to add there, then we can. But from your point of view, right now, what do you think are the top 2 platforms that people, or small businesses, content creators, influencers, whoever, should be investing time into?
Facebook, TikTok.
Facebook for sure. That's still number 1 platform. Has the most users. Facebook's my number 1.
You said TikTok?
Yeah.
Facebook and TikTok?
Facebook and TikTok.
What about you, Freddie?
I'll be on the same along the same lines. Also, probably Instagram. It's a little slower now, but I think there's still benefits in there.
Yeah. Mm. You guys want to hear mine?
What you got?
I would say YouTube.
Yeah.
I would say YouTube number 1, and Facebook maybe right there next to it, if not like one step underneath it.
I see YouTube a little different from Facebook though.
Well,
different from social media in general, because
I understand, but YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, and it's owned by Google, the first biggest search engine in the world. And so that's where I'm coming from. And dude, and that's not the only reason I'm saying it. I'm saying it from my own personal experience, because I always say I can only speak on my own personal experiences.
Yeah.
And YouTube, man, has given me the most return on investment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, what am I talking about is where I've gotten the most traction, where I've gotten the most followers, where I've gotten the most views. Like, dude, I have a video, the same video that I posted on TikTok, on Instagram Reels, on Facebook Reels, I posted on YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
And it was the one of me and my wife making fun of these kids stomping on cockroaches, a lot of people say, Yeah. And it's like, bro, on YouTube, and I'll show you right now, that way you guys know I'm not lying. On YouTube, it is sitting currently at, as we speak, it is sitting at 465,000 views.
Yeah.
Wow.
465,000 views, 5,000 likes.
It jumped at like...
It's like after 30 days is when it really started taking off.
It just jumped after like 20 days.
Yeah, and it's like 56 comments, 500 shares. My audience retention on that is 125%. So that means people are watching it and then watching it maybe a quarter of the way through again. Yeah. But that's the reason I say YouTube Shorts right now, because number 1, it's the second biggest search engine, owned by the first biggest search engine.
Yeah.
And man, it's like my own personal experiences is all the videos that I post everywhere else, they get more views on YouTube.
Yeah.
They get more comments on YouTube. From that one video alone, I'm over 500 subscribers, dude.
Yeah.
Just one video alone for 463,000 views or whatever we're sitting at right now.
Yeah.
500 subscribers, dude. And right now it's like I'm at 650 subscribers, I believe. And 350 subscribers away from reaching that 1,000 subscriber mile mark towards going to be monetized. Yeah. Now I have to reach that 4,000. 4,000 hours watch time, which that's a whole different beast.
That's a lot of content.
Yeah.
Because I mean, well, if it was if YouTube counted shorts, the amount of watch time on shorts towards that, then I would be almost 1,000 hours away from it.
I could see why they don't though, because they probably just want to count the advertised views hours.
Yeah, and another reason right now, my third reason is because starting February of 2023, YouTube will start monetizing shorts, and they'll give out, like, I think it's like a 40 or 45% like payout or whatever, which is higher than any other platform. That's and YouTube pays more than any other platform. That's why most people want to be YouTubers, want to put their content on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know they're gonna have different requirements for that and everything, but just because it's gonna your chances of going viral and getting paid are higher, but your payout is also gonna be a little bit higher.
Yeah.
And man, who cares, dude? Like if I post something and it goes viral, and then I keep posting, you know, my chances of those going viral too are a little bit higher because I have more people watching me at that time.
Yeah.
But I would say YouTube Shorts number one, and then and then Facebook Reels probably right next to it, if not one step below. And then I would worry about TikTok.
Yeah.
And then I would leave Instagram at the very, very bottom, dude, because Instagram is my least performing app.
I think about TikTok, I feel like it sets the trends though.
Yeah.
Well, I think if TikTok goes through these lawsuits that all these states are suing them, we'll see if TikTok sticks around.
Yeah, and I mean that I guess that would be good in a way. But you know, and I've seen Patrick Bet David say that, you know, TikTok is like one Democrat or Republican away from getting banned or something like that.
True.
You know,
Yeah,
and it's like, I mean, I do believe that they do use it as a way to spy on people. You know.
Oh, well, you see how they use it in China,
How?
where it's like they don't let like. What we see is a lot of entertainment, but for them it's like they'll see like engineers, they'll see doctors, and there's time limits. They can only access it through certain times.
Yeah.
So it's like it's completely different than when it's here.
You got a limit on scrolls too.
Yeah,
If
you can
scroll
see
too
the
much, it'll
craziest
stop.
stuff here. Yeah,
And that's good in a way.
yeah.
Oh, it's good.
In a way.
Yeah.
They're smart.
In a way. I mean, because they're, I guess, training their people to.
Well, they know who's looking at it, and so if let's say if Jabron's son was looking at it and he was 6-7 years old and he sees doctors and engineers and scientists rather than somebody twerking, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
It's-
he's
it's
going
a
to be more
different-
intrigued into
Yeah,
that stuff.
exactly.
Yeah, and you know, and the crazy thing is that you said that, man. Is Thursday we had a podcast with she's a mind coach or empowerment coach or whatever, and she said, man, like, you know, the period when a human is more, you know, absorbs more information and stuff is from 0 to 7, man. And you know, and I'm glad you said that, and it makes so much sense that their little kids are out there watching engineers and doctors, and you know what I'm saying, because they're like, oh man, instead of watching freaking Coco Melon on YouTube, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, the problem with this like TikTok era and like YouTube Shorts and Reels is it destroys your attention span.
Yes, man.
See, I got an argument against that.
Let me see. Let me hear it.
All right, you say it destroys it, but how easy is it if your favorite show, new season comes out on Netflix, you binge watch it 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours straight?
But you said
I can't do that anymore, actually.
But
Well, you may not, but over general population.
But it's just TikTok.
But you said it, your favorite.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it's 100% relatable
What
to
you're
you,
interested
like
in.
what you like. You know what I'm saying?
So it's like a bad teacher. If you're not interested, you're not giving
Facts.
her 2 seconds.
Facts.
Where if you have a really intriguing teacher, like that's gonna be your favorite class.
Right, but let me ask you another question. How many younger kids do you interact with? Like teenagers?
Not many, bro. Not many at all.
Because I see my sister and I see Jennifer's younger brother.
Yeah.
Bro, they have no attention span. TikTok has destroyed it.
Well,
they
you're
can't
not
watch
intriguing.
anything
You're not
more than
intriguing.
20
You're an
seconds.
adult.
Not to me. I just watch them watch videos and they can't do it. They can't finish it anymore.
You know, and for young kids, man, I'm like, I understand why they don't want to go work at the shitty places.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Makes
saying?
sense, yeah.
I mean, I really do understand it, man. I understand why they don't want to go work at Rubbermaid or wherever the hell it
Well,
is.
because chances are their parents have, and they see that,
And
so
they're
it's
miserable.
Like, yeah, and it's like they don't want that lifestyle.
Hey, man, you know, and I always say there's never been a better time, bro, to start doing whatever the hell it is you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether it be
Oh, yeah.
be an
I agree with that,
influencer.
yeah.
Bro, like, if I was 15 years old right now, 15 years old, I would skip school every fucking Friday, bro, to go to these $5 stores, the ones that I go to, bro.
Yeah.
And I would consistently go. I would skip school for like the first half of the day or whatever, and then go to.
But make sure you know how to read first.
Yeah.
You can do simple
I'm talking
math.
about it. I'm talking about if
basics out the way.
if I'm a high schooler.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? I would figure out a way to go to these stores, whether it be Friday or Saturday, bro. And I've made a stupid amount of money, bro. There's
Yeah.
no need for these young kids to work at McDonald's.
No.
There is, but what I'm trying to say is there's alternatives. you
Yeah.
know? Where they're like, for example, I go to these stores, bro, and I just put a reel up a few days ago or last week, I think, of what I found there, and it was literally I found a Sony Walkman. It's a Japanese version, but I can still sell it on eBay for around $150. It's used.
Yeah.
And then I found this Asmafit GTS 3 smartwatch. It's like $119 on Amazon. Used on eBay is like $50 to $60. Then I found this little thermostat thing that's I think it's going for like $40, $50 on eBay as well. That's what you could say $250 if I sell them at those prices. You know, out of a $23 investment, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Like, I've been doing this for like the last 4 or 5 years, bro. And I tell my wife, if I was a teenager right now, this is exactly what I would do.
Yeah.
And it only requires you to invest. Like, literally, I know you guys have seen those videos where it's like, oh, it only requires 2 or 3 hours for you to make $10,000 a
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
You know, that's bull crap.
Yeah, of course not.
That is complete bull crap, dude. Like,
It's like figure out how I did it.
yeah, no, the only way they're making $2 or $10,000 in 2 or 3 hours is because of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're
Yeah.
sitting there watching
Exactly.
their 2 or 3 hours of content and paying $1,000 for it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But this is literally, man, you could invest one full day into doing this. And I'm talking about like 8 to 10 hours a day on a Friday.
Yeah.
And you wake up early Friday, and or maybe 2 days tops, let's
Yeah.
just say. You wake up on a Friday early as hell. I'm talking about like 4 or 5 in the morning. You go to these stores, get in line. You go in the store. You're there for an hour to an hour and a half. You come back and you know you do your research on what it's selling. Then you come back home. You if it's used, you clean it up, post it on eBay. Make sure it works first of all before you ship it out, because if not, it's gonna come back and slap you in the face.
Yeah.
But post it on eBay. Let it sit there, man, and it's just sitting there. It's just sitting there until somebody
Wants it.
You know what I'm saying? And then they offer you, like, you paid $5,
Yeah.
bro, for it. You know, $5-7 for it, and then you just wait until somebody offers you whatever, bro. There's I found Nintendo Switches there, bro.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, those are like $300. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And I've sold them, bro, on eBay, like. And I found broken ones too, and I've sold them on eBay for like $100, but broken. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they don't turn on or whatever, and people will still buy them for $100, you know, because
Yeah.
they're
They fix
probably
it.
gonna fix it and then make some more money off it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I absolutely don't care what they do after. Like, I found
Yeah.
this graphics card, man, like one time, and it was a $500 one, but I had absolutely no idea if it worked, and I had absolutely no way of testing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I don't care. I'm just gonna put it on eBay. You know, I put it for $150, man. $150. Some tech dude
Bought it.
that has his own website on there bought it, and I'm like, and he's like, hey man, can you tell me some more information? I'm gonna be completely honest with you, bro. I know absolutely nothing about this. I found it such and such here at this place, and I'm just reselling it, you know. And he's like, okay, would you take $110 for it? Do it, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
I would have taken $50 if it was
Yeah.
because I didn't pay that much for it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
but he said 110, and I was like, say less, dude. Send me the offer. Send me the offer, dude. 2 weeks later, he sends me an email there on eBay, and he's like, bro, thank you so much. He was like, bro, that thing was like almost brand new, bro. He was like, and I'm like, well, he was like, man, I ended up selling it for like $300, and I'm like, well, I'm glad I could help you make some money. Now I feel like shit, you know.
I should have sold it
Yeah.
more,
But
but
you said
But it's all because I had nothing to test it with, you know, and I don't really
Yeah.
care about doing it. I'm like, I made my money, bro. I paid $5 for it, dude.
Yeah, but I think you bring up a
Yeah.
good point. Like, there's more ways now to make money than just going to work at, you know, a McDonald's or something like
Yeah.
that. Like, we've discussed the idea of like buying like vending machines and just
Putting them
it-
out,
yeah, putting them out there, stuff like that. And it's like there's so much you can do if you clean sneakers, right? Like, if for those who do clean sneakers at like malls and stuff, like get whatever you're cleaning, put your brand on there, even if it's just soap and water. Put a logo on there. Make a YouTube short, talk about shoes, cleaning shoes, what product works best with this style, with this type of leather, stuff like that. It's like, it's that easy to make money.
And it's all about just the information you're giving away, man.
Mhm.
And you know, another thing for the small business owners, you're not gonna go out of business if you give away your secrets.
No.
Everybody's done them at some
Because
point.
it takes
trust me.
effort to make those secrets
Yeah.
come, tuition.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. You guys have any closing thoughts, and then
John, you want to go first? I'll finish.
Make content.
Make content.
what about you, Freddie?
Be consistent, please.
Yeah. Reach out to New Gen.
Yes.
That's the
Right.
first one.
How can they find you guys?
You can find us on our website. That's what we prefer. So it's just www.newgensmma.com. You can leave your contact information at the bottom of the website. We'll usually reach back. We get notifications as soon as someone puts an email through. So yeah, that's what we prefer.
What is it? MMA stand for?
Social media marketing.
Oh crap!
Martial arts.
That's all right.
I thought it meant something else.
No,
I was like,
that's
maybe it's a thing between them.
No, that's it. That's
Well,
it.
all right, guys, man. I appreciate it, and that's it. We'll wrap up the show, guys. I appreciate all the high value information you guys brought, man. And I
Thank you for
appreciate
having us
all
on.
you guys.
Yeah. Oh, let's put something in. So we're gonna hopefully start another podcast. Something stupid. That's the name of it. Hopefully, that's in the works.
Something stupid. That's the name of it.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
name of it. And so it's more comedic, and so
Yeah.
the goal is like we travel to different restaurants for breakfast, and then just have a conversation.
Heck
So
yeah.
that's the first one, and then I know Freddie's going to do some tutorial tips for video editing
Nice.
for Canva to get out. I'm going to do more business oriented, like taxes, accounting stuff.
Yeah.
And
A little
then-
more content oriented.
Yeah, he's more content oriented with his
Yeah.
family. So yeah, we got stuff that's in the works.
Awesome, man. And this is gonna be on your own platforms and stuff like that, or is it on?
That's on New Gen.
Yeah,
Gen.
yeah, we're going to push
Awesome.
it through New Gen. Like we
Yeah.
may be labeled differently, but it's going to get pushed through New Gen.
Yeah.
So.
And that's cool,
Content
man. I mean,
creation.
people are gonna, like I said, your probabilities of being seen are gonna go higher.
Yeah, yeah.
They might not relate to Jabron and Freddie, but they might relate to David. They might
Yeah.
not relate to David, but they might relate to one of you gentlemen, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, no, good luck. And anything I can help you guys with, let me know.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely be in contact. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys.
Thanks, guys.